Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Let us continue our discussion on virtual work. In the last class, we have looked at what is the method of virtual work. I also said that you should look for an active force diagram, because we have learned that the reactive forces do not contribute to virtual work. And I also mentioned that the method is useful for determining the position of equilibrium of a system under known loads. And we have also noted that virtual work is calculated as F into ds plus m into delta theta. You should note that the incremental component is given a symbol delta instead of d. I have also put for the work the symbol delta, indicating that we are dealing with virtual quantities. And I have just written a statement that I have two active forces. I have said that the force F has a displacement delta S. So, F into delta S. Here again I cautioned you, since the force in full value is acting and a virtual displacement is given as delta S, the work done is force into displacement. It is not like force is gradually applied from 0 to F. So, these are all the distinctions that you should note while you are dealing with virtual work. So, this again emphasizes that use of delta instead of d signifies that we are dealing with virtual quantities. We have also looked at in the last class what is the meaning of degree of freedom of a system. We have looked at a single degree freedom system and 2 degree freedom system. You really understand a single degree freedom system when you look at a 2 degrees of freedom system, because it requires 2 independent variables to define. And when I have a single degree of freedom system, it requires only one independent variable to define the configuration of the system. Now, the idea is, when we want to solve a problem in method of virtual work, we should ensure whatever is the choice of your independent variable, I should get one unique answer. Books give the problem with one reference coordinate. It might label the value as theta or beta or whatever the way the problem is coined, and we would see the nuances in that. When we solve a problem, you will understand the nuances. And let us take a very simple problem. We had seen this in a vertical fashion in the last class. It is a very similar one. So, you know what way the configuration of the system will change. It is easy for you to visualize, and I expect you to visualize in the method of virtual work under the given application of forces how the displaced system will look like when you give a virtual displacement, and I want you to sketch it. Fine. And that is very, very important when you want to solve a problem in the method of virtual work. So, the problem statement is, I have a block of mass m, and for convenience we have said that there are 2 links which are massless. These are all idealizations you do to simplify your mathematics, and here you are really learning a methodology. So, it is no harm in assuming that these 2 links as massless. And a moment m is applied at the end of one of the links. to maintain the configuration as shown. And it is labeled in the diagram with reference to the vertical, the link is oriented at angle theta. See, normally when a problem is given, you tend to use those quantities directly for solving a problem. That is how a human mind will react. Fine. We would solve the problem from the way it is posed to us. And I would like you to visualize when I apply a moment m, if I give a virtual displacement, what way the system will get displaced. You put the virtual displacement little exaggerated for you to sketch neatly. So, I have the system like this, and for simplification you can simply represent the link by a line like this and recognize that these are all pin joints. That is how the system was shown to be functional in the previous class. We saw the system as the whatever you see as the horizontal bar was vertical, and you had literally used the similar problem to see positions of equilibrium. So, what is natural to go about? You know very well that I am externally applying a moment m, so that I have maintained the position of the block at this level h. So, it is natural to expect that I would put a virtual displacement for m, fine, as if I have slightly increased the value of the moment. That is how you can visualize how I introduce a virtual displacement. I said whatever the force that is required to introduce a virtual displacement, we do not consider it for calculations. So, can I sketch when this is applied how the link will rotate? It will rotate and try to lift up the mass m. You should recognize that. If you recognize that, then you can make a neat sketch of the displaced quantity. I would put the displaced diagram first, then we will look at it. Do you get this idea? You have to get this idea first. In all problems dealing with virtual work, I would insist first step you should do is, for a given virtual displacement, what is the displaced configuration of the system consistent with the constraints of the system. When I rotate it, I have this brown line, and I would naturally expect the way the members are connected, the mass would get lifted up. You should sketch this very neatly, so that I am in a position to recognize what way the delta H changes. I should see very clearly from my sketch that the mass mg has moved up, whereas the link has moved in the direction of the moment m. And from the sketch of the links and the geometry given, the length of the link is given as b, and this height is what we want to find out. This is nothing but b cos theta plus c. H is b cos theta plus c. So, the idea is we would like to find out if there is an incremental change in h, what way theta would change, because they are interdependent. There are constraints in the system, the way it is constructed. I can't arbitrarily have one value of delta H and have another arbitrary value of delta theta. They are interconnected. And let us look at the problem from a mathematical point of view. So, you also identify what are the active forces involved in this case. I have the mass m, mg is the force, and I have the externally applied moment m. I do not have to worry about the reactive forces here and also internal forces in the system. All that is not required, like what we have done for the force method, where you had written down the free body diagram and systematically calculated the forces. So, whatever the diagram that I have written down here is known directly as an active force diagram. And for the given virtual displacement, I should recognize the displacement of the configuration very clearly. Now, let us look at what is the work done by the mass mg, mass m. So, I will put this as mg delta h, and I have the expression for h, which is given as b cos theta plus c. I would like to know what is the incremental variation of b cos theta plus c. When I put delta, for all practical purposes, I treat it as small d. I would do the differential. Fine. While we do virtual work, we will consciously use only that as delta to indicate that we are dealing with virtual quantities. And when I do this, what way this expression will turn out to be? When I differentiate cos theta, what happens? I also have another important aspect, that I also get a minus sign. So, I get minus b sin theta delta theta, and c is a constant and it goes to 0. So, I get this work done by the mass m, which is the actual mg as the force, into delta h. I get this value as minus mgb sin theta delta theta. So, the negative sign shows that the work is negative for a positive value of theta. So, this is what the explanation from mathematics point of view. And books have lot of confusion in this chapter. Fine. From one edition to another edition, the author tries to emphasize different aspects, and people look at the virtual displacement individually, whether it is positive or negative. Here also we are discussing that. When I have a positive value of delta theta, I have a negative value for this. They are oppositely related is what it shows. And we have always learned that counterclockwise positive and clockwise is negative. For convenience, you change all that. Theta is measured positive in the clockwise direction, and the explanation given is the external moment will produce positive work that way, and for delta theta it is also taken in the same sense. Okay. So, there are a lot of confusions there. Let us solve the problem like this, fine, and then we will have a detailed discussion how should we solve the problem. Okay. What should be the emphasis? The work done by the moment is m delta theta, which is very obvious. That is also positive because I have the corresponding displacement in the direction of the force. Now, from the principle of virtual work, we are not dealing with friction. So, we would always use delta W equal to 0. Not only this, as the focus is on learning the methodology, we would confine ourselves to single degree freedom systems. So, you do not even have to verify whether the given problem is of a single degree freedom. It is a single degree freedom problem. So, that you learn the basics of the method thoroughly, then you can handle multiple degrees of freedom systems. So, I would just write whatever I have got m delta theta mg delta h. We have already seen plus mg delta h. From the mathematics we got this as minus. So, when I put it on the other side, I get the expression m delta theta equal to mgb sin theta delta theta. So, I cancel out delta theta. So, I get an expression for theta as sin inverse m by small m g b. So, I am in a position to relate the configuration represented by the independent variable theta to the applied moment. So, when the applied moment changes, the configuration will also change, meaning that theta will change. Theta is a function of m. It is a very interesting result, because I am in a position to find out the configuration, because we have such mechanisms used in day to day requirement, like we saw the painters were able to climb up safely and then paint the building. That is what we saw. And I also mentioned, when you are loading a cargo in the airplane, they have just one, it will quickly lift up. It is very fast, okay, it is very fast. So, you save time. Now, let us look at the problem from two perspectives. One is, I can solve the problem from mathematics, keep your eyes closed, depend only on your sign convention, so on and so forth, or look at the physics of the problem. Obviously, you have been listening to me all along. I have always been insisting, use mathematics, never forget the physics. Physics should be the basis for which you should solve the problem. Use mathematics to assist you. So, let us look at what is the importance of this statement. Now, the problem was originally coined with theta as a reference. The natural step is you would use theta and solve the problem, and it so turned out that when I do the differentiation, it turned out to be negative. It was coming so elegantly, there is no confusion in getting the delta w equal to 0. Suppose I have given you the problem statement as with independent variable as beta, because what we have learnt, when I have a single degree of freedom system, I need one independent variable to define the configuration. I can choose any angle. I can choose any angle to define the configuration. I can refer it with respect to the horizontal, I can refer it with respect to the vertical. It should not make a difference. So, let us first collect the data the way we have solved the problem earlier. We would just collect the data and look at what is the kind of answer that we are getting. I can also write the expression for h. I can also draw the displaced configuration. For displaced configuration, I am taking the reference as m. I am actually increasing m so that I can visualize which way the link will rotate. Fine. I am not making any difference in these two. Let us get the expression for h. In this case, we have already seen that h equal to b cos theta plus c, and in this case, it is b sin beta plus c. And when I do the differentiation, what happens? I get this as a negative quantity, I get this as a positive quantity. And if you have just followed the mathematics, you would have just said Wm is m delta theta and this is m delta beta, and you would have just written mg delta h and mg delta h. I would get in one case a negative quantity, in another case I will get a positive quantity. This is how you would have done. You know, once you start the mathematics, you do not apply your thinking on the nuances. When you use mathematics, you should also look at the nuances, like we have looked at what is the definition of theta, whether theta is positive, theta is negative, whether delta theta is positive, delta theta is negative. All that we are not doing it, and in all likelihood, you will not even think in the examination. Fine. So, when I do this, when I write the virtual work, again the same thing, I would get this answer like this. I would get sin inverse m by mgb and beta as cos inverse minus m by mgb. You know, at the examination hall, you will always get all sorts of sudden intuition. You know, cos theta and cos minus theta are one and the same. Okay. You may also jump to the very convenient conclusion, cos inverse is also same. So, whatever the relation I have obtained through beta is erroneous, because I have a relationship between theta and beta. So, what we have got by blindly applying the mathematics, if I take another independent variable, you end up with a wrong answer. Let me revisit the same problem and bring in a beautiful way of interpreting the expressions you get, which will help you to solve a problem consistently no matter which independent variable you select, and you interpret finally the sign of the work. We have seen work is a scalar, and if I have the corresponding displacement in the direction of the force, then I have the positive work. If the corresponding displacement is opposite to the force, then I have negative work. This is a very strong sort of a idea that would help you to solve a problem no matter which independent variable you select. That is the best way to do it. Fine. So, if I have to do that, what I have to look at is, when I get this h expression, when I get delta h, do not worry about the sign, you just look at the modulus. Let us assign the sign of these quantities when we write the virtual work statement. Investigate whether I am doing a positive work or a negative work. And what is important here? Your neat sketch of the displaced configuration is extremely important for this. If you do not do that, then you cannot physically visualize. Here I can physically visualize when I write the delta W equal to 0, I can physically visualize that mg is moving up. So, mg is doing what kind of work? It is doing negative work. On the other hand, m and delta beta are in the same direction. So, it is doing a positive work. There is no way I will make a mistake whether I use theta as the independent variable to start with, or whether I take beta as my independent variable to define the configuration. Is the idea clear? See, some books do say this, but they do not emphasize it. Fine. We have all along seen, in the case of trusses, we had a detailed discussion on sign convention, how to interpret the force acting on the truss member as tension or compression, and also we had a detailed discussion on what is the sign convention used in plotting shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. I said why sign convention is important and how you can solve problems from different books when they have used different sign convention, you can still solve the problem without any difficulty. On the similar note, when you come to the method of virtual work, my recommendation is draw the displaced configuration as neatly as possible. Take 2 minutes in doing that. Then in one step, you will write the expressions, because the mathematics involved are very, very simple. The configurations you are going to come across are again going to be simple. The problem where you can make a mistake is when you are writing delta W equal to 0, which one is positive virtual work, which one is negative virtual work, you can visualize it when I have a displaced configuration like this. My recommendation is please adopt this approach. We would see what is the way the expressions are going to come. Please write down. I am not finding many of you are writing the notes. It will look obvious if you go and want to try it from a book, you will thoroughly get confused, because each book is different and it is very difficult to figure out what is the sign convention that they have used, and they do not spell it out very clearly. Many of it is left to your imagination. So, you will understand one problem, if the same problem is asked, you might max the paper. If some other problem is given, you will not even know how to approach it. It is very, very important. So, I have this the force and the corresponding displacement are in the same sense. So, I write the work done as positive, and mind you, I think I should have put delta Wm and delta Wmg, delta Wm, delta Wmg. Anyway, even then it is not put, it is quite okay. We are dealing in the chapter of method of virtual work, and here I have indicated the sign as negative because the force and the corresponding displacement are in opposite directions. Okay. Then the next step is straightforward. I have this work done by the force mg is minus mg b sin theta delta theta, and here again I would get the final answer is like this, and when I convert it into theta, it is one and the same. It is one and the same. I have not got a different answer by changing the independent variable. Let me also give you one more variation. See, in both the methods where I have looked at whether I should use theta or beta, I have given virtual displacement only to m to start with, then I figured out what way it will happen to mg. I can also do it from a different perspective. I can give a virtual displacement to mg. Do you get the idea? When I give a virtual displacement to mg, mass will come down, the mass will do a positive work, whereas m will do a negative work. A lot of clarity in this. I would appreciate you try that out as a homework. See, when you want to learn a subject, take a simple problem, look at it from various perspectives, you get the concepts clear. It is not that you need to solve hundreds of problems to do it. A single problem is sufficient to get the nuances of the concepts, and these are very subtle. And I have also taken another problem which is very similar to what we have seen yesterday. Instead of applying a moment, I have applied a force. You can also lift it by applying a force. And here I have deliberately taken the theta as this. I have not taken theta with respect to vertical, I have taken with respect to horizontal. Just to illustrate the point, normally whatever is given in the problem, you start with, and if you directly apply the mathematics without thinking, which is in all likelihood you may end up when you are in a hurry to solve a problem. So, do not take the approach of blind mathematics. Draw the displaced sketch, investigate while writing delta W equal to 0, whether it is contributing positive work or negative work. At that time, you apply the sign appropriately, then you will never make a mistake. So, with that perspective, this problem will become very simple. I think this also I have solved it in two different ways. Let me see. And to save space, what I have done is I have cut this because it is too long. It is not drawn proportionately in the sketch. It should have been longer than this. So, indicate that I have just made a cut to indicate that this is longer than what is actually shown. So, initially you find out, so in all problems you first label the active forces or recognize the active forces. You have the active forces are P and mg. So, first step is identify the active forces, because this practice would help. Suppose I want to find out the reaction. What way I would do is, I would remove the support, put the reaction there and treat it as an active force. That is the trick. When I have to find out reactive forces using principle of virtual work, I cannot do it the way what I have done it in the case of force method. Here I remove the support, put the unknown force as an active force and allow it to move the way dictated by the constraint of the system. That is the trick that you will have to do. So, I have the displaced configuration. So, when I put force like this, I get this displaced, the mass moves up. So, your sketch should be sufficiently neat enough to show the relative movements. If you do not draw a neat sketch, you can err even when you want to assign sign later while writing the expression delta W equal to 0. Sketch is very, very important. If you do not do the proper sketch, then you can mess up the whole thing. So, I have the value theta and I should recognize that this as theta decreasing. See, what happens is, one of the conventions people use is, they look at from the coordinate point of view. If the distance increases, that virtual displacement is positive. If the angle increases, the virtual displacement is positive. If the angle decreases, virtual displacement is negative. All that can lead to confusion, because if you individually assign a sign for displacement, individually assign a sign for the forces, you are ultimately looking at the product. And if you do not handle these independent sign conventions properly, you can mess it up. On the other hand, you look at the product from the perspective whether force and the corresponding displacement are in the same direction. For example, we are accustomed to calling an anti-clockwise moment as positive, clockwise moment as negative. On the other hand, if our clockwise moment acts and the corresponding displacement is clockwise, the net product is still positive, which you can easily visualize. So, do not go in for a sign convention independently for a force, independently for a virtual displacement. Look at the product. That is the message I am trying to convey. If I have beta, then beta is increasing. Theta is decreasing, but beta is increasing for this configuration. Okay. So, it is desirable that I work with h equal to beta b cos beta plus c. So, the idea here is, one way of looking at the problem is, look at the problem and choose an independent variable so that your mathematics is consistent. Or if I have to use this, if I want to have theta to increase, I can also visualize that m comes down and theta increases and you have a negative work at p. From mathematics also you can solve, but there are more pitfalls. While applying it, you can make a mistake. On the other hand, whichever the force you have taken for virtual displacement as a reference, draw the displaced configuration. From the geometry, identify the interrelationship. Do not put the sign for the incremental quantities. Investigate whether the work done is positive or negative and write the virtual work equation. That is foolproof. You will never make a mistake, no matter which independent variable you select, whether you handle one active force as a reference or other active force as a reference, because the problem can be solved in multiple different ways. So, here what I have indicated is, I will stick to the mathematics instead of writing my interrelationship in terms of theta, I would write in terms of beta. And rest of the problem is straightforward. I have the same procedure and I have this, and this turns out to be like this, and I get the expression. And this is very clear that this does positive work. So, I have this like this, and this gives me the final expression beta equal to sin inverse 2p by mg. When I put beta equal to 90 minus theta, I get this as cos inverse 2p by mg. So, what I have attempted to show here is, if the problem is coined with a particular independent variable and you are going to give a virtual displacement in one of the forces which is convenient to you, you may change the independent variable and solve the problem from a mathematical perspective. Instead, my recommendation is, look at the same problem, because I have the luxury, I can put the same slide again and then start the discussion. So, I have this displaced, I retain the same independent variable indicated in the problem, I get an expression for h, find out what is the incremental change. Do not assign a sign here, look at only the quantity. And also for the work done by the, I think it should be the force, it is not the moment, because it is cut and paste in preparing all these slides. This is the force here. Okay. So, P into 2B into delta theta. Now, while writing this expression, recognize that the force and the corresponding displacement are in the same direction, that it is positive. The force and the corresponding displacement delta h in this case are in opposite sense. So, you get the expression like this. I directly get theta equal to cos inverse 2p by mg. So, my recommendation is, get the incremental quantities, do not assign the sign, investigate for each of the active forces, look at the virtual displacement and find out whether they are in the same direction or opposite direction. If the corresponding displacement is the same direction as the force, then you take that virtual work contribution as positive. If they are opposite, it is negative. Then you will find method of virtual work is very elegant and simple. Any problem that is given to you, you can comfortably solve it. There is no difficulty at all. So, that is the approach I would recommend. You finally investigate from the neat sketch. If you draw the sketch wrongly, then this method also can give surprising results. For me to identify that P does positive work or mg does negative work, I must have a clear sketch drawn. Let us take up one more problem. It is very interesting. This is what I said. In some of the toys that they have this, they will not have just one unit like this, several units, and suddenly they will put like this, it will come and pop and hit at you. Okay, that's toys I used to enjoy. I couldn't get one. Okay, I have seen it in the trains that they come and sell. So, here a force P is applied at the end of the massless links of length B each, and they are all pin jointed without friction. And when the force P is applied to pull it, what is the moment required to maintain the equilibrium of the mechanism? You have to get it by the method of virtual work. And you should also look at what are the constraints illustrated in the problem? Obviously, when I pull this, it has to have a freedom to come down. So, I have a slot here which allows that end to move up or down depending on which direction I apply the force P. If I pull it, it will come down. If I reverse the direction, this will go up. So, you have the facility provided in your mechanism. There is a slot which allows this pin to move up or down. So, that is a constraint. Okay, that constraint is very clearly specified. And the first step in virtual work is identify the active forces. Active forces are P and M. And I have the angle theta referred with respect to the horizontal, and make a line sketch of this problem. And what I am going to do is, see, it is easier for me to visualize. I am applying the force P, I am trying to pull it out. So, I would visualize what is the displacement configuration when I slightly increase the force P. It is easy for me to do. On the other hand, if somebody wants to increase M and then draw the displacement configuration, that will also have to give the same value for this problem. Is the idea clear? See, I am giving a virtual displacement for a given configuration to establish the interrelationship. I am not supposed to get one result if I have a virtual displacement, I give it to force P, or I give a virtual displacement to force M. If I give it for M, recognize what way P will get displaced. If I give it for P, recognize what way M will get displaced. And when I look with P, it is natural I expect virtual displacement in the direction of P. Is the idea clear? On the other hand, if I go and look at M as a reference, it is natural for me to visualize in the direction of M. This is what people will do, easy for you to do that. So, if I take P as a reference, P will do a positive virtual work. If I take M as a reference, M will do a positive virtual work. Either way, I should get only one answer. I should not get different answers. So, this is one aspect that you have to keep in mind. Suppose I put the angle with respect to the vertical, then also I should get one unique answer, because it is a single degree freedom system. No matter what independent variable I select, no matter which active force I give a virtual displacement to start with, because they are interrelated. For me to start with, I have to visualize. So, here I would visualize when P is given a virtual displacement, how does the link gets displaced. I am pulling it out, and you should visualize that this has to come down and theta would decrease. You should recognize all that. Your sketch should be sufficiently big enough to recognize this aspect. This aspect is very important. If you get this, then virtual work is the simplest methodology for you to solve a variety of problems. So, make a neat sketch and recognize that when I give a positive displacement delta x, it also does positive virtual work. And you can see very clearly here, the virtual displacement delta theta is opposite to the moment M. Now, we have to establish what is delta theta and delta x from the given configuration of the system. So, do not assign sign there, that is the message I am trying to give. When you differentiate, some cases you may get positive value, some cases you may get negative value. If the problem is posed in such a manner that negative value is acceptable and then you get a right answer, you may get satisfied that you have solved the problem correctly, but you will not have got the concepts clearly. On the other hand, if you investigate the sign of the virtual work, there is very small likelihood for you to make a mistake. So, the recommendation is investigate the product. Do not investigate independently the sign convention for the force and independently the sign convention for virtual displacement. So, I get this interrelationship between theta and x as 3b cos theta. This you should be comfortable in doing it by looking at the inspection of the geometry. There you have to visualize very straightforward and you can find out what is it. This expression you can easily write. Now, I differentiate it, I do not recognize this sign because I am looking only at the modulus. I write this expression as delta w equals 0. Then I can write the expression like this and I get the final step. I have recognized that the moment is contributing to negative virtual work and the force P is contributing to positive virtual work. So, then I get a expression in one shot. I knock off this delta theta and I get an interrelationship between the two. I can also determine theta from this as sine inverse m by 3 Pb. So, it is very interesting. So, in this chapter you are in a position to find out the position of equilibrium. Since you have solved this, you can also make an attempt as a homework to solve an extended version of this. And this is also giving you some exposure to certain other aspects of engineering. What I have here is, I have a screw here, and when I have a screw, it will have a pitch, it will have a lead. These are all the terminologies. I would like you to Google it and refer what is the pitch of a screw, what is the lead of a screw. And in your workshop practice, you would have done lathe cutting. You would have a lead screw rotating, whereas this tool post is linearly moving. Okay. So, you can also go and try it out, take a bolt and nut, hold the nut and rotate the screw, you will find the nut will have a linear motion, fine, if you hold the nut. Something like that is used here. So, when I rotate this nut, the point B can move forward or backward depending on the sign of the moment. You must recognize that. So, you should recognize, go to the definition of what is the lead of a screw. I want you to do some homework on that, so that you also learn little bit of engineering terminologies. The only thing new here is how to interrelate the rotation to the linear movement. Rest of all, instead of one link which we saw earlier, I have two links, I will have change in expression. The problem is straightforward. The only aspect which you do not have a background right now is what way to interpret rotation of a screw to linear movement of point B. You figure that out, fine. Take that as a exercise for you to do it. You should also understand what is the lead of a screw. So, in this class we have learned how to solve a problem in the method of virtual work. I have given a very important recommendation. Whenever you encounter a problem in virtual work, first identify the active forces, then visualize the displaced configuration and make a neat sketch out of it. From the displaced configuration, identify what is the sign of the virtual work by each of the active forces. So, look at the contribution. If the force and the corresponding displacement are in the same direction, then the contribution of the active force for virtual work is positive. If the force and the displacement are in opposite direction, then its contribution is negative. This would help you to solve the problem without any difficulty, but the important requirement is you need to have a neat sketch of the displaced configuration, and you should also have visualization of the physics of the system. The physical system visualization is very important, and in a sense it will also help you to appreciate engineering better. Physical visualizations are very important in engineering. So, use virtual work as the vehicle for you to learn that. Thank you.